Hey, what's up, guys? Shawn Wilson here with the Liberty Bell. Hope you're having a great week. It is Thursday, 2 days after the midterm elections. How you feeling, America? How you feeling? So I have some thoughts. Want to share with you. Want to talk about them. Here's the deal: if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, you need to go to thelibertybell.com, which is, of course, right down there, right there. Boop, boop, boop. Go to libertybell.com. A little pop up will pop up. Just put your email in. It's totally free. You get our stuff. It's really that simple. And a lot of times you're going to get it before the general public. So we want you to be a part of that. Also, if you want to be a sponsoring member and come alongside us, we would love to have you. You can go to our Patreon, which will be linked in the description below, and you can join us. We're actually getting ready to change that up, make it a little bit more affordable for you so that you can come be a part of what we are doing. So, yeah, Tuesday's election. Let me just be 100% clear and honest. I went into Tuesday completely uh, cautious because what I have seen for the last 2 years coming from the GOP has not been impressive. Now, let me just put it out there. People all the time get all their panties in a wad and ask me, "Well, Shawn, aren't you a Republican? Aren't why are you so hard on Republicans?" Well, let me just I have been a registered Republican since I've been legally allowed to vote, which is a little close to 20 plus years. And so, yeah, I have. I don't necessarily identify as a Republican, though. I have voted for Democrats. I have voted for Libertarians. I've voted for the Constitution Party. I don't necessarily support the parties as much as I support the candidates. If the candidates are good. However, we're getting to a place now where I don't necessarily know if I can support at least the larger party on a national platform when it comes to the ineffectiveness of the GOP. But I'm not here to discuss that. I just wanted to put that out there because people are in with what I want to talk about today, 5 thoughts coming out of Tuesday's election. I'm going to piss some people off. And it's not because I don't want to, it's because I care for America. Look, I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, Green Party, Constitutionalist, whatever. I don't care. What I care about is that you ascribe to the constitutional values that we have built our nation upon, which includes the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the 3 most important political documents in human history, outside of maybe the Magna Carta or the Mayflower Compact. And I would include those in there as well. Because ultimately, we have got to do better, right? We've got to, because our nation is hanging in the balance between tyranny, absolute despotism with the Democrats, and tyranny light with the Republicans at this point. But I want to address that. So 5 thoughts coming out of Tuesday's election. I don't know how you feel. I'm not really surprised about what happened. I will. Let's update real quick. I'm going over to Fox News. They seem to be updating their run of Tuesday's election a little bit quicker than some of the other sites I've seen. So there's still 3 Senate seats left in play from Tuesday's elections right now. The Democrats have 48. The Republicans have 49. I'm assuming Arizona and Nevada are 2 of those that are still in play. I called it Tuesday evening pretty early. I think the Democrats are going to hold on to the Senate. However, some of the things coming out of Georgia with Herschel Walker's campaign looks like he may pull out a victory there. I'm not going to be spouting that too hard. I don't know if that's going to happen. It looks like the Republicans, there's 39 House seats left in play. I think the Republicans are going to pull out a majority pretty easily there. That's where we're at. So 3 Senate seats left in play. Even if the Democrats pick up 2, it'll be a deadlock. So you'll have 50-50, and it's where it is, where it's been. Or you have the 39 House seats left. I imagine right now the Republicans sit at 209. I imagine they're going to pick up another probably 15 of those. I don't know if they'll get all of them, all 39. I would be shocked if that happens, honestly. But we'll see. We're still living in a world where we know who wins Dancing with the Stars that night, but we don't know who won the election Tuesday. That's just me. Here we go. 5 thoughts coming out of Tuesday's election. Ron DeSantis has the right message moving forward. I don't know what you think about Ron DeSantis. Frankly, I don't care. I like him. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good politician. I think he loves America, and I think he's good for the country. And the reason I say that is because Ron DeSantis took Miami-Dade County, which is a historically minority county, and crushed it. He didn't just beat Chris Christie, or not Chris Christie. Was it Christie? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Guy's irrelevant. He crushed Miami-Dade County, which never happens for a Republican, at least on a state level. I know Trump got pretty close to winning. I don't remember if he won it in 16 or 20. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Tuesday's election. Ron DeSantis has the right message moving forward for the Republican Party. But the problem is they're not going to listen. They're going to pretend to listen, but they're going to keep doing the same crap that they've been doing for the last 60 years. Ron DeSantis, and another person I'm going to talk about later in my list, has the right message, has the right influence, has the right ideas. I think can reach across the aisle to blue dog Democrats, can reach out to independents, and even pull in some libertarians. I think Ron DeSantis should be the future of the Republican Party and lead the Republican Party, because I think he's the guy. He is the guy. And I think he has a great amount of enthusiasm behind him, because I think he appeals to the people who don't like Trump. For the most part, for those never Trumpers, DeSantis is a good candidate. And here's why. He's a pretty moral dude. I think he's pretty religious, but he's not pushy, right? He's not a Mike Huckabee or some of these other guys that were seen as being more pushy. And I'm not saying Mike is. I worked with Mike when I was in Arkansas early on. Met him, I think, one time. Super nice guy. I didn't feel like he was pushy. Ron he's your kind of everyday American. I mean, he was in the military. He's a good dude. And no matter what the liberal media wants to paint him as, he ran Florida during COVID really well. I was in Florida during COVID several times. The state was amazing. It was fantastic compared to where I'm at in Louisiana, where we locked down and people died in nursing homes because our governor is an imbecile. So I think Ron DeSantis is the right man moving forward. I think he has the right message. I think he has the right enthusiasm. I think he is young enough to appeal to a younger demographic. And I think that they will get behind him. Do I think the GOP will? I'm not sure. Probably not, because the leadership of the GOP is as corrupt as the Democrats. So, number 2, we must, for the love of God, for the love of all that is decent and holy, for the love of Benjamin Franklin, for the love of Thomas Jefferson, we have to secure our elections. This is ridiculous. Okay. Now here's the deal. I am acutely aware of how Democrats are stealing elections. And you may, and I may get banned from YouTube for this. Frankly, I don't care. I know how they're doing it. I have seen people go to prison because I exposed what they were doing with it. And they're going to continue to do it until we secure the elections. I don't know if you're watching this outside of Louisiana, specifically the New Orleans area, you probably have not seen this. This is a newspaper that I had printed a few weeks ago that we've distributed to. We have thousands of these that were distributed into Orleans and Ascension Parish here in Louisiana. Why were they distributed? Because we have proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Democrats are actively using loopholes in the system to steal elections. I actually helped get a city council member in a small town in Louisiana, 2 of them, and the mayor. I think the mayor's been indicted. 2 city council members have. One is currently in prison. Okay. I know what they're doing. They are stealing elections on both a local level and a national level. We must secure our elections. What does that mean? How are we going to do it? I have a great idea. Paper ballots. People are like, whoa, what? Handwritten paper ballots. People are like, well, dude, you know how much? Dude, we don't have time for that. Really? We don't have time to trust our system. We don't have time to give ourselves. I think it should be a national holiday. Every midterm, every presidential election, national holiday. You can be open with your business if you want to be. You don't have to be. You must let your people off so they can plenty of time to go vote. We should have paper ballots that you can vote on. They're stuck in a secure plexiglass box that you can see inside. They are counted the moment the polls close. People gather around from all parties and they count Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden. They do a total, they call it in. The call in is confirmed. You would know by midnight that night. That's just one idea. You could do it on the blockchain if you need to. There's plenty of opportunities to secure our elections. The reason we don't want to is because they want to keep this 50-50 split. But that's not the case. If you've looked at the county breakup per the last several elections, presidential elections, the majority of America is conservative. And it's not even close, folks. The majority of America is conservative. The problem is mega metropolitan areas, New York, Los Angeles, California, New Orleans, those kind of places. Houston, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando, Tampa. I mean, I could keep going. Everywhere where Democrats seem to destroy, right? They're getting off. I mean, look, I'm in Baton Rouge. We have a Democratic mayor who sucks. Like, she sucks bad. But the Democratic mayor before was fantastic. I actually voted for him. Kip Holden, I voted for him. Why? Because he was a good Democratic mayor. Matter of fact, he didn't even bring in all this radical leftism. He was a very blue dog, conservative Democrat who ran our city like a well-oiled machine. And now Sharon Weston Broom has completely destroyed it. Crime is absolutely out of control. Our whole city is just descending into chaos. And that's just crime. That's not including the red light situation, the sewage backup, the runoff, the flood water. It's just stupid. Why? Because she's a radical leftist. And she doesn't know how to run, and she's terrible at it. We elect all these people. And why? Because they suck? No, because the elections are compromised. Our elections are compromised. I don't care what anybody says. I know what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I've actually brought this, and there are people right now who've brought it to our AG. He sort of talks about it. He doesn't really dive deep into it. But at the end of the day, he's not doing anything to really fix it yet either. Now, if you've seen this, is there voter fraud in Ascension Parish and New Orleans? Yes, there is. Matter of fact, if you're in Louisiana and you want one of these, I'll give him to you. Call Kyle Ardwin and ask him why our voter rolls aren't cleaned up. Ask him why dead people are still on the voter rolls, and somehow who've been dead for, some of them, 100 years, voted not in this Tuesday's election, but the election before. It's a good question. Kyle does not have an answer for it. We need to secure our elections. Number 3, Carrie Lake is the future for Republican women or conservative women, really. Carrie Lake is fantastic. She is a way better candidate than Sarah Palin ever was. She is hard-nosed conservative, constitutionalist who takes no BS from anybody. Carrie Lake will, and Ron DeSantis. So there's like the guy and the girl who will rule the party if we will support them. They will rule the Republican Party moving forward if we stop kissing the behind of Donald Trump. Look, I like Trump, voted for Trump in 2020, but we got to move past Donald Trump, okay? We have to do it because people are not going to like this, but Donald Trump is going to, it's not even Donald's fault, really. It's not. Donald Trump is such a polarizing figure that it's going to not just rip not our party. I don't necessarily associate with the Republican Party. It's going to rip the Republican Party apart because at the end of the day, there's extreme ideological insanity worship to Trump, and then there's extreme ideological hate for Trump. There's no middle ground. You don't have the people who watched The Apprentice 10, 12 years ago and was like, oh, Trump's cool. Or the people who were like, man, Trump's a billionaire. I want to be like him one day. It's Trump's just ran as a Republican, did everything he said he was going to do, and they hate him for it or they love him for it. There's no, hey, he was good. He did good. I don't necessarily like the way he said things or did a lot of the things the way he did them, i.e., he did it through executive fiat. But was he good for the country? I think so. I think what Donald Trump offered the world was a no nonsense, I'm not going to put up with your BS kind of attitude, which is America has lost. We need men who are just going to have a pair. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, got off on Donald Trump, and we're talking about Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake is the future of the Republican Party or the conservative movement when it comes to politicians being women. She's good. She's no nonsense. She's gorgeous. People are like, well, what is that? Why is that? Why do you say that, Shawn? Okay, I know we live in a world where we have 5'2", 400-pound models in bikinis. But at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, since John F. Kennedy and the Richard Nixon debate, the better looking candidate usually wins, except for Fetterman. I don't know how Pennsylvania totally jacked that one up. Come on, Pennsylvania. The home of the Liberty Bell, and you totally, you guys suck. I just want you to know that. You suck, not the people, but you've allowed your state to become a cesspool of ignorance. Anyway, she's gorgeous. And why does that matter? Is because guys will look at her and how she stands up and how she carries herself and go, I'll vote for her. And don't act like you didn't do this. You did it for Barack Obama. I know people are like, hey, you look better than the other guy. I did it because he was black. You did it because you looked at him and you thought, oh, you did it? Really? You didn't do it on policies? And I will say this, her policies are fantastic. She's pretty strict constitutionalist. I may disagree with one or two things that she's talked about, but they're not major issues. They're minor, and they don't matter. She's fantastic. And she's polling the women from, if you've ever, and you need to do this, go look at the county breakup based on men and women across the country. Women vote emotionally, men vote logically. And I know that's going to get me into all kinds of trouble, but it's the truth. Women vote emotionally. They don't like the fact that Trump is kind of a dick sometimes, all the time, really. He's New Yorker. What do you expect? Have you ever been to New York? Come on. I'm from New York, okay? I know what it's like. On the west side, but still no. The state, not the city. But he is from the city, and I'm telling you, this is how everyone in New York is, right? It's just the way they are. But she's polling the women with a very logical, thought out, don't vote because you're just pissed because he said something about what's her name on Twitter. Think logically, look at the policies, and her policies are great. So Carrie Lake, I think she might pull out the governorship here. I have not seen a breaking news, but I think she's pulling ahead a little bit right now. We'll see. Arizona, you need to secure your elections. This is ridiculous. This one's going to get me in a lot of trouble. The GOP does not need Donald Trump to run for president. It doesn't even need him moving forward in anything. But it does need men and women who are like Donald Trump to run. And what I mean by that is this. Donald Trump is a take no prisoners, no BS. If you don't like it, you can hit the road, Jack kind of guy. He's going to put all of his eggs on the table. You want the deal? Great. You don't? Cool. He's not offering you a deal again. He's a no-nonsense. Look, what did he tell the guy in Afghanistan? If one of our guys gets killed, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to obliterate you and your family. If you kill one of our soldiers, I forget. I think it was in Afghanistan. Who was it? I don't remember off the top of my head. That's what happens when you have 5 kids. You forget about things. Anyway, Trump did what he said he was going to do, and we need more politicians like that. We need politicians. We need, I don't even like the word politicians. We need statesmen and women who are going to be strict constitutionalists and who are not afraid to put up with the garbage from the left, the bullcrap from the right, and people who don't care about our country. We need people with a pair, both men and women. I think Carrie Lake is great. I think Ron DeSantis is great. I think Lauren Boebert's great. I think Thomas Massey and Rand Paul, great. Ted Cruz, I think Ted is the guy who's like, who's in power? Let me go see. But we need men and women, and not just Republicans. Democrats, you need better candidates. Gavin Newsom, for California, you're a beautiful state, one of the most beautiful states ever. Look at what your state has become. Look at what Austin's becoming. Look, and here's a perfect example. The Democratic Party had Tulsi Gabbard, a Democratic candidate that I would support. I don't agree with everything, but she stands firm as her, where she leans left of center constitutionally. I lean right of center constitutionally, but I know she loves our country. I know she supports our country. I know she's against illegal, immoral foreign wars in other lands for the sake of whatever it is we decided was the sake this week. She's against ridiculous spending. She's going to cut all kinds of things. And look, you may disagree with her on a few things, and that's fine, but she was a good Democratic candidate. I think she was the best one they had, and they lost her. That's on them. But we need candidates who are not Donald Trump, not named Donald Trump, not named Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump or Laura Trump or whoever else. But we need people to run who are like him. We need to have that. We need better candidates. People are like, well, Jeff Landry and Garrett Graves. Let me just, really? That's who you're going to give me? Come on. Okay. No. Poke my eye out there. Last one. Then I'm going to give you a what do you call it? What is it? Yeah, an extra. There you go. A little extra. What is it? Like a bonus? Bonus. There we go. You don't see the guy holding up the sign over here. Anyway, we do it in an office. We run a small operation. All right. America, got a question for you. Number 5. 5 thoughts coming out of Tuesday's elections. 1, Ron DeSantis has the right message moving forward, for at least for the GOP and the conservative movement. 2, we need to secure our elections. We absolutely got to do this, and we need to do it quickly. 3, Carrie Lake is the future for conservative Republican women. 4, the GOP doesn't need Donald Trump to run for office, but it needs men and women like Donald Trump to run for office. And number 5, this is more of a question. Do you trust the electoral process? Do you trust it? Do you trust that your vote counts? Do you trust Dominion voting? Do you trust that what's going on right now? Look, my daughter and my wife right now are watching, what's it called? Dancing with the Stars. And every week my daughter votes. And she 100% believes that her vote, she's 10, counts. I don't know if it does or not. I don't think it does. I don't tell her that, but I think it's marketing, right? Do you trust that when you go and you vote that it's on the up and up? Do you trust that there aren't dead people voting? Do you trust that there's not these ballot dumps at 2:00 in the morning? Do you trust that dead people? I know the answer. You don't. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? That's the question. Bonus time. All right, so it's 23 minutes in. This is an extra for you guys, so we're just going to throw this out there. We're going to upload it here in just a few minutes, and you're going to get it for free. I will be doing the 5-Minute Friday. And let me just be clear, the last couple of weeks I've been out of town, Fridays through the weekend. 5-Minute Friday will be back, and we're going to be talking about, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to tune in. I think not this week, but maybe, what is it? I need a calendar. So tomorrow's the 11th, maybe the 18th. We will do a live 5-Minute Friday. And so I think we will do that. And so you can ask questions, and we might go for an hour or so. We'll see, but it doesn't. We'll let you know. So bonus section. So you got the 5 thoughts coming out of Tuesday's election. Locally, I saw something really cool. So in the 6th district for Congress, Garrett Graves was running against 2 other people. One, Rufus Craig, was the Libertarian, and the other Republican was Brian Belzer, who we had on the show, the Shawn Wilson show, the last episode, which you can go back to the website, check that out. We'll link it below. Rufus Craig. Now, Garrett Graves was the incumbent, and he was highly favored within the Republican Party. Matter of fact, the Republican Party told Brian, "We're not going to help you," and for no help whatsoever, he had a pretty decent showing. However, when it looked like it was going to be like 2% for Brian, 1% for Rufus Craig, the Libertarian, and the rest for Garrett Graves, Garrett Graves lost all kinds of ground, and Rufus Craig pulled out 20% of the 6th district congressional vote as a Libertarian in Louisiana. Now, I know that may not mean anything to like New Hampshire, who has the Free State Project, which is really cool, and you should check that out. But in Louisiana, in the 2nd largest district, at least population-wise, for Congress, our district is made up of the Baton Rouge surrounding area. Then there's New Orleans and the rest of the states. Anyway, I'm not going to explain it. That's a huge, huge, huge 20% of those who voted for the Libertarian compared to the GOP. Now, granted, I think Garrett Graves got 65%. Let me pull it up. I want to pull it up. Louisiana Secretary of State. Pull it up. Because this is important. A few election results. Where is it? 6th district. Okay, it's gone down. All right. So it was 20% last time I checked. It's down to 13%. So Garrett Graves got 80%. Rufus Craig got 13%. Still a respectable showing. And Brian Belzer got 7% of the vote. People are like, well, Shawn, really? 13%? Yeah, the last time Rufus Craig ran. Last time he ran, I think he got like 2% of the vote. I'd have to go back and double check. It was really low. That's a huge win. So Libertarians, congratulations. That's a win. My advice to Libertarians, here's the deal. Don't focus on national elections. I see this too often. Too often. We want to run in a national platform. And I get it. You want to put a guy out there and run for president. Cool. Pour your money into the school boards. Pour your money into the state house and state senate. Pour your money into city councilmen. That's where it counts. I wish hard right conservative constitutionalists would quit worrying about who the president is and start worrying about their local and state elections more, because that's where it really matters. So those are my thoughts, my friends. Tuesday's election, what did you think? How did it go for you? Are you a Democrat and you loved every second of it? Did you hate it? Did you switch? Were you a Democrat and you voted for Ron DeSantis and you're like, heck yeah, I'm a Ron DeSantis guy? Or were you a Republican or like, I'm disgusted by all of it and didn't even vote? You're an idiot. Or were you surprised, happy, terrified? What's next for our country? Share your thoughts below. We want to hear them. Maybe we'll even have you on a show one time and let's talk about it. Want to debate? Share your thoughts. Look, I'm not always right. I know that. But I do love my country. And I fear that we're allowing a bunch of really, really dumb people to speed us toward Armageddon. I mean, we're talking about nuclear war. What? God have mercy on us. So those are my 5 thoughts coming out of Tuesday's election. What are your thoughts? Share them below. Go to the website, thelibertybell.com. Sign up for our newsletter. We send out 1 or 2, mostly once on Fridays. We'll send out an email updating you on some of the things we're working on. We try not to spam you too hard. Check out our website on a regular basis. We got some good stuff over there. Let's see what we got up. thelibertybell.com. Pulling it up. We like to, share what's going on. Of course, there we go. My internet's slow, apparently. Let me grab a drink. Pennsylvanians, there's some cool stuff on the Pennsylvania. More stimulus checks to fight inflation. As murder rate soars, FBI buries the data. Lots of good stuff over there you can go check out. The economics of higher education. If you got a kid going to college soon, you're going to want to check that one out by Angela Monaco. Great article. Lots of good things over there. Go check it out. I think you'll like it. If you love America, well, do your patriotic duty and go. I'm just kidding. Whatever. But no, for real, go check it out. Like us on Facebook. Go to all our different podcasts. Subscribe here, please, because it helps us grow. We get more people encountering, talking, debating. Look, that's really what we're here for. Me, Anthony, some of the other guys. We just want to open the conversation up. What can we do better to make America what we want it to be? Constitutionally, free, liberty. That's what we want, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I want to own my house and not rent it from the government because I'm paying property taxes. I want less taxes. Look, I'm fine with cutting the military budget. Ooh, I know that's like a sacred cow we're not allowed to talk about. Anyway, we'll talk about more of those things later. Till next time, your thoughts below. What happened on Tuesday? Were you happy, mad, indifferent? You don't care? Share them below. We'll catch you next time. Have a great one, guys.